And I think that's a good segue into our final point, Vince, which is the matchup of the Notre Dame scoring offense against the Purdue scoring defense. I think right now, if I were to give an advantage, I would give a slight advantage to Notre Dame, but I would lean towards even right now in the advantage. We're gonna kind of put that at the beginning so we can build backwards a little bit different.
Okay.
And the reason is because of the super chat question.
Okay.
I think for me to feel better about this team going forward, that the areas that we've showed concern about, the offensive line in this particular matchup needs to perform better. Okay, so what does that look like? Well, it's easy to say, well, the O-line's got to play better. Okay, what does that look like? To me, it goes back to the beginning, being more physical. Are they going to battle? Look, if there's mistakes in this game and they're turning guys loose, but they're playing their butts off, that's a good sign for me because the mistakes you can correct.
Yep.
Even a mediocre offensive line coach can correct those type of mistakes. And we've seen Jeff Quinn. I'm not saying he's a mediocre offensive line coach. I'm making a point that even one. We've also seen Jeff Quinn make these kind of changes. We saw a Notre Dame offensive line against Ball State in 2018 that couldn't pick up the most basic, simple, ET stunts. It was embarrassing. By the 5th game of the year, they were playing like an elite offensive line. We've seen it. Now we need to see that now. But the first step is all that doesn't matter. If you're not playing physical and nasty and with an edge, then that's not going to matter. But if you do start playing with some physicality and an edge and those type of things, that's a great sign for me. What's also going to be a sign for me about the offensive line is that they make some of the schematic adjustments that we've discussed. Look, every team goes into the season thinking we're going to be good at this because we were good at this in camp. And then you get to the games, you're like, yeah, it's not going as good against other teams as it was working for us, and we've got to make a change. Can this offensive staff? Yeah, can this offensive staff adapt to that, Vince? That's another question. But at the end of the day, Rouse, for me, when I look at what's going to make me feel good, it's about the mentality. Are they out there playing like with look, we've got a tradition to live up to, and we're not holding up to our end of this relationship when it comes to our past, and we're not going to ever get out fought again. We're never going to get out hit again because there is never an excuse for that. Schematic stuff, technical stuff, yeah, we can talk about that till the cows come home. There's never ever an excuse for Notre Dame offensive line to get out physical, to get out whooped, to get out worked, to get out hit, to get whipped. That can't happen. If that changes in this game, that there will make me feel a lot better about where this group is going, because now it's just about cleaning up the technical stuff. Exactly. That's easy. Yep. That's easy. What's got me so concerned is it's not just technical stuff, Vince. It's that aspect, and it's going to tie into this game because as you look at the scoring offense and the scoring defense, again, Purdue's numbers are a little misleading because they played just a god-awful UConn team who had just, their coach had just announced that, he wasn't coming back. And
right.
And I don't think
they've a weird situation.
Yeah, they have yet to. Let me see. Yeah, they've played two FBS programs this year. UConn has, and they have yet to score a point in either one of them. They've scored 0 points. They lost to Fresno State 45-0. They lost to Purdue 49-0. They lost to Holy Cross 38-28.
Oof.
So that's a terrible offense.
Holy Cross is an
FCS team.
FCS, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
This is that stat to me is a little misleading. If Notre Dame can come out and handle their business, move the ball, get some big shots, be a little bit more efficient in the run game, and dominate this matchup, which they're capable of. Like, look, the things that we're talking about, Vince, are issues based on what we've seen. There's still a pretty significant top to bottom talent advantage for Notre Dame.
Sure, absolutely. Well, and that's so, you take into account that we gave Purdue the advantage in the run game. We gave Notre Dame the advantage in the pass game. For me, and you said we're getting things out of the way early as far as advantage, I'm still advantage Notre Dame when it comes to, and I know you said you were too, but you're closer to even. I still like Notre Dame here because I still think they can score points. They've proven that they can score points. And I think that there are going to be some adjustments made. And I think that I will say the Tyler Buchner effect is going to affect this game. I think it is. And, Purdue's got that extra wrinkle to have to worry about now. And I think that's going to have something to do with this game. I think Notre Dame's going to score, and I think that their guys are going to play better than Purdue's guys outside of the offensive line. Now, the offensive line is still a major issue for me, still a major issue, but I feel like they're going to almost scheme their way around the offensive line, and I have faith in Tommy Rees. Frankly, that's where my confidence comes from. It really does. My faith in Tommy Rees, my faith in the skill positions on this offense, and I just feel like my advantage is still pretty squarely on Notre Dame's favor when it comes to point scoring versus points given up. And this matchup right here, I'm still squarely with Notre Dame. I just feel like the other guys are so much better than the offensive line that they overcome some of the offensive line deficiencies.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think I tend to agree with that. It's why I went with the advantage for Notre Dame. The only reason I think it's close is because of what you just said is the offensive line.
That's really hard.
If Notre Dame, and again, if Notre Dame's offensive line just has to play a solid game.
Yeah,
that's it. If they play a solid game, Notre Dame blows Purdue out. They will, and we're all going to feel a whole lot better.
Sure,
but they have to prove that they can do that. And thus far in the season, Vince, they have not proven
they
can do that.
Well, they have not, and I don't have the necessarily confidence in it. Like my prediction, I haven't really thought about it yet, but it certainly isn't going to be a blowout prediction. I've seen too much, and I know too much at this point about Notre Dame and about the offensive line to predict that they're going to blow out Purdue. And we're obviously going to talk about the Notre Dame defense tomorrow, but I'm definitely not predicting a blowout. I think Notre Dame's going to put some points on the board, but we'll have to see if it's blowout potential. I still feel like Notre Dame can score. So that's my confidence level is still there, even with the warts.
So at the end of the day, Vince, we went scoring offense. We both went with Notre Dame. Pass offense, we both went with Notre Dame. Rush offense versus Purdue's rush defense, we both went with Purdue, correct?
Scary but true, yes.
Okay. All right, so that's where we're at. I cannot believe that those words came out of our mouth, but that is where Notre Dame is right now. So that's going to do it for today's show. I want to thank everyone for being with us today. We will be back tomorrow, same time, be 12:30 on Wednesday, and we are going to break down the matchup of the Notre Dame defense against the Purdue offense. Now, that is going to be a very intriguing matchup, Vince, because that is the one area where Purdue has looked really good to me the first couple games. Again, competition has been great. They haven't played a good defense yet, but they did what they're supposed to do against teams that don't have good.
They got
good
a couple
defenses.
guys, and not having Xander Horvath is going to be an issue. But I
that
think
hurts them. And yep, it does.
The Bell kid is really good.
Yep, be the best receiver they've played so far by far.
Yes,
and they're going to be schemed up. So that's going to be a really fun game to break down. We're going to dive more into the film tonight, you and I, as we get into that. And then, of course, Thursday we'll have our prediction show, which, as you all know, our prediction show is more than just we show up. Hi, I'm Bryan. I'm Vince. Vince, what's your score? All right, Mike. Peace out. We'll dive into some matchups and some keys to the game and things like that will lead into our predictions. And then Friday, we will obviously have our Friday mailbag. So that is our schedule for today. Thank you all so much for being with us. I also want to share, too, a couple things before you leave. Please don't take off yet. Number one, I had somebody email me today and ask me, do you have to be a premium member of the message board to come to the tailgate? You do not. The tailgate is for the Irish Breakdown community. Okay, the one thing that we have tried to build here, Vince, is a broad community. Some people are going to be the real insiders with the premium access. Some people are going to just be on the website. Some people only listen to the podcast. Some people only watch the YouTube channel. You're all part of one family, and that's our family at Irish Breakdown. So if you're at the game on Saturday against Purdue, you do not have to be a paying member. You do not. There's no, hey, what's your handle? You haven't given any super chats. Get out. Right? That's not how we are. If you're a part of our family, you're going to be with us, okay? And you can come with us, and you can bring your family, okay? So I just want to make sure if anyone else had that question, I want to know that. Also, the last 2 weeks, we just had our best game or regular season game week page views on our website that we've ever had. We are on pace to blow away our best month ever at Irish Breakdown. We just had by far our best week in YouTube since we've started this thing back in January. Our podcast has taken off so much that Blue Wire and I worked together to create an addendum to our contract because we had surpassed the numbers that where our contract ended on how we got paid.
Right. Yes.
And Blue Wire, being a great company who I've thoroughly enjoyed working with, did that. The point is that we've grown a ton, and it's because of y'all. And so I wanted to thank you on behalf of Vince. I know Vince feels the same way, but we wanted to extend our sincere thank you for this, because otherwise we're just two dudes talking to each other about Notre Dame, right? But you all have made this a community. You all have made this a family, and we appreciate y'all so very much. And I know we're just getting started, and that's the fun thing. So tell your friends. All right. Tell your family, tell your Notre Dame community about what we got going on here. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, notification bell, sign up for the message boards at boards.irishbreakdown.com. Got some great conversation going. I am going to have those breakdown videos this week of the Toledo game. Those are going to come out tomorrow. Got some really good clips that I'm going to break down. I'm going to talk about the Notre Dame run game or rush defense, where some of the issues were on Saturday. And things that they did well that give me hope that they're going to get this thing turned around real quickly. Offensively, we're going to look at just some different aspects of the game that I think show that that were some missed opportunities for Notre Dame in the past game, that if you get these simple things cleaned up, even with the offensive line playing poorly, you had some opportunities to go out there and score even more. So I'll break those things down. Those are always going to be a little bit more critical, just to be kind of showing some hey, This is good, but this is also needs to be fixed. So those will be on the message board tomorrow. Those are only available on the premium message board. So if you're not a member yet, you're going to want to sign up. So for Vince, that's a lot easier, Vince. This is a whole lot easier.
Straight again. I'm up here and you're down there.
A whole lot easier. So for Vince and Bryan, have a great rest of your day, and we will see all of you again on the video tomorrow, but hopefully we get a chance to talk to you all on the message boards before then. So have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you all very, very soon.